the hell is Metaverse? I've been asking this same question for a long time because Facebook started the Metaverse, and I think it's like for me when they say Metaverse, it feels like Avatar. If you watch the movie Avatar, you know that the guy sleep and his brain he functions like another human being in another world. So that's what I think. Now let's actually see what Joe Strife is talking about this.
What is the metaverse? You've probably heard companies or corporations talking about building a metaverse or joining the metaverse, but what actually is it? What does the word mean? What are companies trying to sell us? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes. In this video, I'm going to break down the concept of the metaverse and explain it in super simple terms, which will be difficult because not even the people claiming to build this completely understand what they are trying to build, or how a lot of what they're claiming to do as a novel new thing has already been done. I'm going to explain why most metaverse claims are actually just giant corporate safety nets used to reduce the risk that companies take when making a new product and increasing how many customers they can share between demographics. The metaverse isn't for you, it's for them. Before we begin, a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. More on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. The phrase metaverse has become so popular lately, it's being used to describe everything from extended franchise universes to companies teaming up for public events to simple crossovers, and it's being so overused it's beginning to lose all meaning. A lot of people see it as a blanket phrase meaning the new online digital frontier. So to fully understand what a metaverse is, we need to look at what it isn't. The metaverse is not the following things exclusively, although they all do play a part in what it ultimately is. I know this sounds confusing, but bear with me because I'll use examples to explain each one and then show you how they all come together. The metaverse is not simply a crossover episode. Take Scooby-Doo, the long-running TV show about a group of teenagers and a dog investigating mysteries. In 2018, there was a crossover episode with Supernatural, a TV show about the adventures of demon-hunting brothers Sam and Dean. Crossover episodes have happened for years, and they don't need a new digital metaverse to happen again. Just like film and TV, video games have also crossed over for years. Recently, the online space MMO EVE had an in-game crossover event with Doctor Who, letting players visit Gallifrey and fight the Daleks. Franchises with similar demographics combining for temporary events is nothing new. Some games are made almost entirely out of crossovers, such as Super Smash Bros. Using characters from loads of franchises, PlayStation All-Stars doing the same. The Street Fighter games have seen various crossovers throughout history, including fighting the X-Men. So similar franchises clashing together isn't exclusive to the idea of a metaverse. The metaverse is not simply a multiverse within a single franchise. Marvel and DC have many multiverses with many versions of all of their iconic characters on many different realities. Superman exists in many Earths. There are many versions of the Batman. So the metaverse isn't just different versions of a single character or a single reality within a franchise. We've been doing that for years too. The metaverse is not an extended universe of a franchise. Star Wars has the mainstream films, but also a host of smaller media, books, games, the Christmas special. All of these stories flesh out the world, but they're not actually required viewing or reading to understand the world for the casual enjoyer. The Star Trek universe has the mainstream shows, and then a plethora of smaller connected media. The idea that you can expand a franchise's in-universe lore with supplemental media is nothing new. The metaverse isn't just references from one piece of media to the next, showing an out-of-canon connection, like how the Pizza Planet delivery truck appears in multiple films, or how Tarantino movies all have small details linking them into an overarching universe despite not directly interacting. Loosely connecting multiple pieces of media through shared iconography to reward keen viewers and create a sense of cohesion linked to a director or a company instead of the in-universe rules is again nothing new. The metaverse is not simply a single mechanical framework which various franchises are adapted to fit within as cogs of that machine. And to make that sentence simpler, consider this. The card game Magic the Gathering. The mechanics of Magic have remained relatively stable for many years. The cards have the same layout and the game has the same rules. And for many years, Magic the Gathering was its own story with its own consistent characters independent of other established franchises. But recently, Hasbro began adding in expansions known as Secret Lairs, featuring other franchise characters molded to fit the Magic the Gathering rule set. There was a Walking Dead secret lair, so Rick, Steadfast Leader, a character from The Walking Dead, is now a Magic the Gathering card. This set actually sold so well they made a load more. Magic the Gathering, once a franchise and story unto itself, now has official playable cards of My Little Pony, Dungeons and Dragons, Stranger Things, Arcane, and coming soon, a set based on the Lord of the Rings TV show to tie in with Amazon's new Lord of the Rings TV show, and Commander decks based on Warhammer 40k. But using established mechanical frameworks and then plugging in franchises is nothing new. Monopoly has been doing this exact thing for years. HeroClix has many franchises, but the pieces can all interact. And now the most important thing to understand about what the Metaverse isn't. The Metaverse is not just a 3D virtual hangout room or virtual reality. This seems to be the biggest marketing angle because people who don't play video games assume this looks really impressive to people who do. Many companies have created online interactive 3D spaces, sometimes using virtual reality, and they say this is the Metaverse. Then they put boring everyday things into the virtual space, like how Walmart put out a video showing you could shop in virtual reality. This is just online shopping with a very over-designed user interface. The news loves to report on the first marriage in the Metaverse, when what they mean is two people held a digital marriage ceremony. And this is not new. We've been doing this for years as well. The MMO EverQuest released back in 1999, and that saw some players holding online marriages. The 3D chat-based IMVU was popular in the mid-2000s. Second Life has allowed you to customize your avatars, play music, or chat to people in real time. Interacting with other people in a 3D online environment is not a new idea. The addition of virtual reality, while changing the visuals, does not fundamentally change the foundation of this experience. Having an online party is also not the Metaverse. Recently, the crypto-based game Decentraland uploaded a video showing an online rave. There were avatars stood around listening to live music, and the news outlets in the real world jumped on this as the Metaverse rave. Now, on a personal note, this whole thing looks absolutely terrible. There are no emotes, no events happening to actually go and get involved with. The whole thing looks boring as hell. But playing music from a real band, two players in a game, has been done before, and it's been done better. The mobile and PC MMO Adventure Quest 3D has hosted many concerts, including Breaking Benjamin, with the developers live in the game spawning monsters for the players to fight while they were enjoying the concert. So online parties are not exclusively new to the Metaverse. So all of these awesome connected online things have happened before. Why are companies saying the Metaverse is the key to making them happen again? Well, I can see three main reasons. First, it's because rebranding these online things as the Metaverse sounds cool. It's the buzzword of the year. Second, because calling something a metaverse and not just a crossover or an extended universe means there is no time limit on it. Crossovers are often temporary and don't affect the continued canon of any piece of media in any lasting, meaningful way. But being part of the same metaverse permanently links two things forever. And finally, because if two franchises are in the same metaverse umbrella, even if they aren't related franchises, it allows companies to smash them together for profit and create a new product which in theory appeals to the customer base of both. So let's examine that. What the Metaverse really is a corporate attempt to combine everything they could sell you together and then to make you feel involved and connected to everything they do, to provide a sense of community to customers while tying all of the customer demographics that company can reach into one giant target market. The largest benefit this brings to the company controlling the Metaverse and all franchises within is reducing the risk of failure whenever a new product launches. Because if a product launches into a metaverse, everything from that same metaverse is able to prop it up. Now that is a bold claim, so let's break it down. The word metaverse in its current state is more of a buzzword than an actual specific defined thing, and because so many companies are using it to mean so many different things, it's not a very accurate descriptor of anything. Now we've seen attempts at connecting everything together like this before. Many years ago, the phrase the Internet of Things became popular. The idea that all smart objects like phones, watches and fridges, anything with any kind of internet connection, should be able to communicate with everything else. Your entire world would be connected through the Internet of Things. And this never really took off for two main reasons. One, because different companies use different systems and standards and languages and networks, and no one could agree how everything should work. And two, because it didn't always benefit the customer. And ultimately, that is what the success of the metaverse will boil down to. Does it benefit the customer? The metaverse is a push toward you as a user having your digital life all nicely packed into a connected system so everything works with everything else. And everything you love is somehow related to everything else you love. If you've ever tried to log onto a site or join an app and it's asked, do you want to log in with Facebook, and you think, hey, that's handy, then you've taken the first steps into what a connected metaverse would actually look like. This is also why Facebook's parent company have recently changed their name to Meta. But remember, this ease of use and connected lifestyle isn't just for your benefit, it's to make gathering data on you and selling you things easier. So why is the idea of a metaverse bad, and what damage could it do to the franchises we love? Since Marvel movies really cemented how financially successful extended universes are, companies have wanted to do that with everything they own. Sequels often make more money and carry less risk of failure because you know for a fact you have an enfranchised fan base who will watch and enjoy whatever you do. And doing something new is a risk for companies. Imagine if you own a company and you release two products for two different demographics. Let's just call them A and B. A becomes successful and B fails. In the future, you're just going to want to release endless sequels to A. But you've already put the effort into creating B. So what if there was a way to advertise B at demographic A without actually doing any extra work to connect them? Let's say product A was a TV show and B was a clothing line. By having the characters on the show wear the clothes from the line, you have now combined demographics. You have doubled your market reach for both products. And here's the great thing for the company: it's risk-free. The people who like the show will continue to watch it. The people who like the clothes will continue to wear them. You've not lost any customers from either. But now the people who watch the show are interested in the clothing line, and the people who bought the clothes are interested in the show. Two totally different audiences have now been unified under the idea of your metaverse. Every company starting a metaverse is doing it for one main reason: the homogenization of every audience demographic from every product they own under one giant advertising umbrella. And unlike crossover events or episodes, you do not need anything to actually be relevant from anything else to link them all. You just need to take the recognizable bits of one product and plug it into another, relying on the popularity of each individual recognizable thing to sell. Like putting Kratos from God of War, Master Chief from Halo, John Wick and Vi from Arcane all into Fortnite. You could look at Fortnite as a giant example of a third-person metaverse shooting game. The big problem with this is whatever mechanical foundation you use to drive the other franchises to loses all the personality it originally had and becomes a vehicle for the other popular franchises to ride on. It becomes the invisible host framework you plug other, more recognizable characters into. Fortnite used to have its own story, but they realized continuing that wouldn't make as much money as just plugging more and more characters from already existing franchises into. So instead of being its own thing, it's now a vehicle for crossovers. It lost its own story, but it gained massive profits. Magic the Gathering used to have its own storyline and characters, and while it still does to an extent, it makes far more money being used as a vehicle to sell secret lairs and crossovers. Magic the Gathering has had its own plot and personality pushed to the side to make room for the more famous things from other franchises. The cards are no longer part of a single, consistent, unique universe with its own deep lore. They are now simply game pieces with icons from popular culture on them because that will sell. sell better. Whenever a metaverse begins, one of the first casualties is the individual personality of the things within it, because now everything exists related to everything else. There are no standalone stories. Independent franchises or characters are no longer the stars of their own smaller show. They are now simply supporting characters to the stars of the bigger shows. Every episode of everything is a potential crossover with everything else, permanently. Meaning the franchise you love is now always one executive decision away from being cannibalized by a larger one because it would make more money. With a metaverse in place, a company can release multiple products aiming at multiple demographics, all under the single banner of the metaverse. And suddenly everything they released is relevant to every customer of that metaverse, even if they weren't related before. Maybe you downloaded League of Legends and you enjoyed it for a bit, and maybe you liked the character Vi, so you go and watch the TV show on Netflix Arcane, and then you see they're releasing an Arcane Secret Lair for Magic the Gathering, and you enjoy playing Magic the Gathering, so you buy the Fortnite Secret Lair. From a company viewpoint, the individual character metaverse of Vi is now a good thing for League of Legends developers, Fortnite developers, Netflix, and Wizards of the Coast. They all benefit from the other's established audience. Franchises have fans. Companies have loyal customers, marketing agencies see target demographics, and the metaverse is a way of combining absolutely everything together so your franchises mix with every other's and gain you more fans. Your company benefits from the loyal customers of another, and marketing agencies can increase their target demographic to everyone. The metaverse is the idea that your online life, offline interests, passions and hobbies and all future media enjoyment must all be connected so you become part of the largest target demographic in history. But to finish off, perhaps the biggest issue with the metaverse is the simple fact there is no one metaverse. There are as many as you want to create. When a company says they are working on the metaverse, what they hope naive people will hear is, we are building the one and only digital future. We are the arbiters of the next step of reality. When what they actually mean is, we are combining everything we own into a big homogeneous franchise soup, hoping you will swim in our soup exclusively. Also, there might be 3D VR chat. Decentraland claims to be the metaverse. Earth 2 claims to be the metaverse. Facebook claims to be the metaverse. Hell, even Adidas, who sells sports equipment, are advertising themselves as having the metaverse. And what all metaverses currently are is walled gardens, each built by their own controlling companies, blocking off everyone else and hoping everyone decides to come and join them. But why would a company ever join another company's metaverse? Why be a servant in another digital world when you could rule in your own? Look at the recent Microsoft Activision Blizzard purchase. They didn't buy them because they really enjoy Call of Duty. They bought them because they can now link Candy Crush and Windows PCs together in the Microsoft Metaverse. I'm pretty sure if they sold Clippy as a pet in World of Warcraft, someone would buy it. Minecraft skins in Call of Duty are only a matter of time. While Diablo and The Elder Scrolls Online are not connected franchises, they could, under the banner of the Microsoft Metaverse, see a crossover. Now, would players and fans of any franchise want to dilute their franchise's own personality and unique place in fiction by permanently linking it to another? Well, that depends on the fan. But if the linking would make more money than it loses, you can guarantee it's going to happen eventually. Companies don't like risk, and releasing something is always a risk. So combining what you own into a massive metaverse and releasing something as part of the metaverse is a way of mitigating the risk, because you can guarantee, while there may not be fans of the individual thing you are releasing, there is a fan base of the metaverse as a whole. So they will enjoy the product related to the metaverse even if they don't care about the product itself. Franchises make more money, and releasing something into a metaverse is a way of forcing franchise connections from everything released to something already successful. This increases the chance that any new thing will make instant money at the cost of the new thing never truly having its own unique space within fiction. If every episode of a brand new TV show was a crossover with different already popular TV shows, you'd be appealing to the fans of all the other shows at the cost of the new show never really becoming anything itself. If the new show only stands on the strengths of its references, it would have nothing uniquely its own. It's a horrible thought to imagine new pieces of media simply being bundled references and allusions to already existing bits of media, but within a metaverse, that will be the safest and most profitable thing to do. You only need to look at games like Fortnite to see it makes far more money to push your own storyline and personality to the side and give people what they already know and love. So to link this back to earlier, a metaverse isn't a crossover episode, but it does allow crossovers between disconnected franchises. It's not a multiverse of a franchise, but it does allow multiverses to combine products. It's not an extended franchise universe or a referenced universe, because everything is now connected to everything else. Connections are no longer fun Easter eggs for viewers. The connection is proudly proclaimed and advertised as the metaverse. It's not franchises joining an already known framework and being supporting characters to that framework's established personality, but instead the framework itself being cannibalized as a vehicle for marketing every other more successful franchise. The metaverse is not simply a 3D VR chat system. It is not online shopping. It is not in-game raids. We've had all of those for years, but flashy advertising animations will tell you this is new and exciting and exclusive and the future. You cannot join the metaverse any more than you can play the video game or watch the film, because there isn't just one, there are many. You can, if you want to, get involved with a metaverse, but this doesn't actually make anything new happen. There's no experience a metaverse can give you that we haven't already had access to for many, many years. Because a metaverse isn't about you, or giving you a new experience or a new reality. It's about them. Combining everything they own and selling you everything based on its ephemeral connection to everything else. So when you see a company making a metaverse, please stop and think, is what they're doing actually anything new? Is this a consumer-friendly future? Or are they just trying to appear futuristic and cool, connecting everything you've ever enjoyed to everything you've not yet enjoyed and hoping you will spend vast amounts of money trying to enjoy everything? The metaverse is, quite simply, the attempted creation of the largest marketing demographic in human history. Cheers for watching. Another massive thank you to the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. You can support from only £1 a month. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, and our Discord.
Okay guys, what do you guys think about metaverse? Put it in the comment section. Thanks for watching.